Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, with a bit of a news alert here. Russian gold exports to Switzerland. Turns out it's a mystery. Let's explore. Some of you may remember a few days ago, I posted a video breaking the news about how Switzerland had been importing some Russian gold. It turns out it's a little bit more complex than that. Russian gold exports to Switzerland point to a stealth buyer, as the country's top refiners say they did not import any Russian gold. And this is originated from Bloomberg and reported here from the Business Insider, the Indian version here. I did find a Bloomberg article, but apparently after you look at a few of those articles, you don't have any access without an account. But nonetheless, this is quite interesting indeed. A trade group representing top Swiss refiners say they did not import any Russian gold, according to Bloomberg. In May, over 3 tons of gold was shipped from Russia to Switzerland, which was almost entirely marked for refining. A trade group representing these top Swiss refiners said they did not import any Russian gold over the past month, which raises questions as to who actually bought the gold or bought the goods. And we'll look at another article that gives a little bit more of a clue to this. In May, over 3 tons of gold was shipped from Russia to Switzerland, which was almost entirely marked for refinement, per the Swiss Federal Customs Administration. This marked the first imports of Russian gold for Switzerland since the war began. There are no official sanctions on Russian gold in Europe, though many buyers had self-sanctioned to distance themselves from Moscow amid the war. But now it is unclear where the gold went, or what party had it imported. After contacting its members, the ASFCMP, what an acronym, confirms that none of its members are responsible for these imports. The Swiss Association of Manufacturers and Traders of Precious Metals said in a statement obtained by Bloomberg on Thursday, although Swiss legislation and sanctions do not prohibit the import of Russian gold into Switzerland, the ASFCMP would like to reiterate that dubious gold has no place in Switzerland. See, they have a reputation that they need to correct after so many years, especially with what happened with Nazi gold that came through their coffers. A lot of that came from concentration camps, from teeth of the dead Jewish victims of the Holocaust. Switzerland is a major import and export hub for precious metals, and shipments frequently flow through the country's free trade zones on their way to other destinations, meaning that it may not always be clear who is behind a particular transaction. So that's pretty interesting. It's a free trade zone, and this is something that likely could lead to further crackdowns with what they call ESG, that's environmental social governance tracking mechanisms, to see where the gold comes from. And this is one of those cases that will probably bolster the, quote, justification for such a tracking mechanism. Buying gold became taboo for Switzerland's top refiners once Moscow launched its invasion on Ukraine. Switzerland, which holds 4 major gold refiners, had previously stopped importing gold from Russia when the London Bullion Market Association removed the country from its accredited list, a story that I covered on this channel some time ago. That signaled a de facto ban on Russian gold, though buyers also remain hesitant to import other Russian metals like palladium. Palladium is pretty much mined exclusively in Siberia and Russia, although I think there is some of it that is mined in smaller amounts in South Africa and in North America. The Swiss, however, have continued to import palladium from Russia since April. And it's one of those things, too. The London version of the London Bullion Market Association, I think it's the LPPA, Platinum and Palladium Association, they have also put a stop to palladium and platinum imports from Russia. So this is quite interesting indeed. What a story this is. After I had reported on this, I pretty much just assumed that that was true, that they were getting gold from Russia. Well, I found another story from the Mining Weekly. It's sort of an update to this here. Swiss customs say Russian gold import arrived from the United Kingdom. That's interesting. So gold recorded as originating from Russia arrived in Switzerland from the United Kingdom last month, according to the Swiss Federal Customs Administration. So there we go. A little bit of digging and research has been done on this. This also by way of Bloomberg. More than 3 tons of gold worth about $200 million was recorded as being imported from Russia to Switzerland last month, according to customs data. The industry has been abuzz with speculation about the trade, especially after the Association of Swiss Refiners said its members were not responsible. That metal arrived from the United Kingdom, but had a Russian designation of origin, the administration said in a statement Friday. They couldn't provide any information on the importer of the gold for legal reasons. Russian gold has become taboo in the West following the country's invasion of Ukraine, even though market authorities have explicitly said bars minted prior to the war can still trade. Swiss refiners, which dominate the industry, can still legally import gold from Russia, according to the Customs Administration, though most have said they won't. All bars produced by Russian refineries after March the 7th, 2022, may no longer be traded in Switzerland, the Customs Administration said in a statement. Bars produced by Russian refineries before March 7th can continue to be traded. Could those bars that were imported from the United Kingdom, could they be marked as being produced before March 7th? Likely that's probably the case, so that Russia can't benefit from it. I don't know. Or maybe they do for the gold that's sitting there. I don't know how that works, but nonetheless, that is kind of where we sit with this. An amazing story. And again, keeping in mind, Switzerland may be under some pressure here because of their past history with the Nazis in World War II and importing gold, again, that came from the teeth of dead Jewish victims of the Holocaust. And definitely still not sure exactly. This may help solve the mystery to a point, and but likely, again, most do not want to touch this gold. But the bigger question here is kind of where this leads. We've already started hearing about gold and governance being implemented in some of the gold process. This ESG stuff is everywhere now, and the precious metal sector is not free from it. It is still there. Now, again, gold is one of those metals that once it's been refined or melted down, you can't track it. You don't know where, it's all that is gone. Gold is gold, and it doesn't have anything on it that can tell you where it's from or where it goes. As long as it's pure gold, it's pure gold. So the markings would have to be on those type of bars, which they are not going to accept unless it's in the form that they want it to be in, or that they desire it to be in for that tracking mechanism. But nonetheless, very interesting indeed, this story and where it came from, and where will we go from here? Where will the investigation lead, and how can we tell when these bars were produced, and will they be returned? I don't know. The stigma of having Russian gold, is another thing that some of these countries feel. Now, obviously, people have different viewpoints on that as far as the Russian conflict and the like, and importing this Russian gold. But nonetheless, it is quite interesting to see where this is playing, how this how this story is playing out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below about this story. Very interesting indeed. the mystery kind of deepens here. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch and remind you that I do post videos on a daily basis. So you want to keep up with the latest news of precious metals and the like, this is a good place to go. Again, a multitude of gratitude to you all. I want to encourage you to please rate this video. That means press that thumbs up, hit the notification bell so that you can be apprised of the latest video that makes its way across your device. Share on this video, comment, and subscribe.